This video is about using timers in your code. So we've already talked about while loops, we've talked about if statements, but timers are going to be really useful to us because sometimes in code you may want to have a time-based section rather than a wait statement or an until statement or something like that. So the timers will allow you to, as the name kind of implies, wait for a certain amount of time or stop your program after a certain amount of time. And so again, wait statements don't really help us out if we're trying to do it for a certain amount of time. Now you could do your motor for a certain amount of time if you figure out how many rotations it takes based on the speed, but that's a lot of work. And RobotC already has some timers that are in the actual program. So RobotC will give you 4 possible stopwatches that you can use at the same time. And they're called T1, T2, T3, and T4. And the thing about these timers is you are allowed to use them almost like an input where if you reach a certain time, a certain action will happen. But one thing to watch out for, and we'll kind of go through this together, is that if you don't clear your timer, it will stay at that time. So if I say, okay, I want something to run for 30 seconds and then stop. Once I get to 30 seconds, then everything stops. If I don't put a clear timer in there, it will not work at all. So your timer will just continue to go higher and higher and higher and higher, which is not super useful to us. So we're going to kind of go through an example of what that might look like with RobotC. So here I have a task that I'm trying to fulfill, and I'm going to be using some timers, I'm going to be using some while loops, I'm going to use some if statements. So I want this program, if we look at my task description, to last for only 30 seconds, and after 30 seconds is up, we're done. I want the right motor to run at half speed if the bump switch is pressed. Otherwise, I want my right motor to run counterclockwise if the limit switch is pressed. And if none of those are happening, I want everything to stop. So instead of just rolling through the code once, I want it to loop over and over and over again until I hit that 30 seconds mark. So I've taken my task description and I've essentially whittled down the pseudocode into kind of the lines that I want to pick apart and use. So I'm going to use that first one while 30 seconds have not gone by. And by my pseudocode, it kind of forms what the code should look like for me. So I am going to toss in my while condition. And so what we're saying is while a certain amount of time on the timer has not passed, or passed depending on what you want this stuff to happen. So I'm going to have to dive into my time condition. So I'm going to use, if you look down in timing in variables, we have time 1. And so that is essentially what we're trying to measure is time. So I'm going to slip that into my condition statement. So I'm going to say while time 1, and I'm going to choose one of my 4 timers. I'm going to say T1. And it doesn't really matter which one you use, obviously. So while timer 1 is less than 30 seconds, now the thing to watch out for these timers is they are measured in milliseconds. So instead of 30, that's going to be really quick. That's not going to do us much good. So to convert it from seconds into milliseconds, I'm going to multiply that puppy by 3,000. So this is saying that while the first timer reads less than 3,000, I want the stuff to happen inside of the body. So we have, let me kind of move my pseudocode just so it makes more visual sense. Boy. Let's chop that out, plop that in. Okay, so my next chunk is saying that if the bump switch is pressed, run the motor at half speed clockwise. So I'm going to toss in my if statement into the body. And we're going to say if my sensor value of my bump switch, close that square bracket, is equals to pressed or 1, what I'm going to have it do is run my motor. So I'm going to plop that in. So I'm going to get rid of this guy. I'm going to make sure I've got some space for my if statement. I'm going to toss in my curly bracket. And just so I don't forget, I'm going to toss in my second curly bracket. So I'm saying if the bump switch is pressed, I'm going to run the motor at half speed counterclockwise. So I'm going to say start motor. Let's do my right motor. And half speed clockwise is going to be 63. And I've got my little semicolon right there. And we don't need that little guy, so I'm going to get rid of that. Cool. So we have our first kind of if statement. I'm going to take the pseudocode that I created. I'm just going to, copy. There we go. I'm going to bump that right over here. Okay, so that's kind of our first if statement. So our second if statement is if the limit switch is pressed, we're going to run the right motor at half speed counterclockwise. So as I think about my if statement, I'm going to have the if and then an else, because I want it to kind of keep tracking through there. So I'm going to use my else if statement, else. If my sensor value of my limit switch is pressed, what I'm going to have it do is, let's get this set up because I know my formatting is going to get all messed up, is I want my right motor to run half speed counterclockwise. So doing the same thing, just the other way. So I'm going to say start motor, right motor, negative 63, going back the other way. Close my parentheses and toss my semicolon in. All right, so as I look at this, my while loop is going to keep on cycling through as long as we are less than 30 seconds. The first thing it's going to check is my bump switch pressed? And if it is, it's going to start my motor at half speed going counterclockwise, or excuse me, clockwise. If that is not the case and my limit switch is pressed, it's going to start my right motor going half speed counterclockwise. Let me pull my pseudocode down there. Copy, tab over, there we go. And then the last thing that I need to make sure that happens is if these things are not going on, I have to tell it to do something. So I'm going to toss my else statements. Woof, can't type again. For my else statement, all we're going to have it do is stop my motor. So let's get our little brackets in there for this section. And if none of those are being fulfilled, I just want it to stop my motor. Stop motor. And in this case is going to be right motor. Close my parentheses off and toss in the semicolon. So again, the way this is going to go through is while my timer is less than 30 seconds, it's going to check this one first. Is my bump switch pressed? If that is true, my motor is going to be running. If that is not true, it's going to check and see if the limit switch is pressed. And if that is not true, it's just going to stop everything. Now, the last thing that we need to watch out for is if we were to go through all of this again, your timer will stop at the time that your program stops. So what we're going to have to do is at the top of the program, we are going to have to clear the timer so that it starts at 0 every single time. Otherwise, you may have code that just doesn't work at all whatsoever. So the timer that I want to clear out is just timer 1. So now that we have everything set up, we have our while loop that's going to keep on repeating, and we have the timer. Oop, I put the I in there just in case. The clear timer, so that sets everything at 0 and then starts over. So again, if you do not have that clear timer in there, your timer 1 will save whatever that value is. Let's say we stop it at 35 seconds. When I do my program again, my timer without clear timer is going to be at 35 seconds, which means nothing is going to run because it's booting me out of that stuff. So kind of keep that in mind when you are dealing with timers. Make sure that you are clearing it. But really, it's just another handy tool that we can use to control our systems in various ways.